Hi guys, welcome back to my video blog, A Foreigner Abroad Midlife Crisis. Thank you for coming back. As I said in my previous video blog, we will be talking about child maintenance. Just to give you a little bit of history, I have got a 17 and a bit year old son, teenager, yay, with everything that comes with it. He was born in the UK late 2001. He's a British citizen, so is his father, and so am I. Surprise, surprise. I know that you can tell I wasn't born in the UK, but I have emigrated to the UK when I was very young, so I became a British citizen in the late 90s. In 2008, we decided to come to South Africa. What I need to mention is that I was never married to the father of my kids, as we call it. My son was born in sin. We were never married. I never saw the need to get married. I really didn't think that anything will ever happen. Whoever thinks anything will happen. Love is forever, isn't it? And life is beautiful as always. But and I also I think I was a bit silly because when I came with my son and my ex to South Africa, I think that I was a bit oblivious of what my family and friends wanted to tell me. I was so sure that this common law wife existed, and I think I was even more sure that I'd never, ever, ever need to worry about that. So we arrived here in 2008. We split up by mid-2009, the adults, I mean. Just a little bit, I need to tell you that I wasn't married to my ex, and also I was a homemaker. I was just thinking about the story today, and I need to say it to you because I probably remember this story for a reason. In 2002, January 2002, we were in South Africa on holiday. My son just turned 1 and I was supposed to go back to work. If my memory serves me right, I think it was the 4th of January, and we had tickets to fly back. And then my ex decided that because I was just a bookkeeper, I wasn't earning a lot of money, and for me to go back to work pretty much wasn't worth it. He said, and I quote, "The money I was making was a piss in the ocean, and it wasn't even covering childcare." And I still remember he made very sure that I wasn't starting working. He surprised George and I with us staying here a little bit longer while he flew back to the UK. So I was a homemaker for 8 years, 7-8 years, and obviously when we came here, we brought containers, we brought my car from the UK, we brought furniture, we brought our lives that we built together in the UK. But when it came to splitting up, I was left with nothing. Obviously, in the years that we were together and I was bringing up our child, he paid for everything while I was doing nothing at home. Everything was in his name, from car, even a container. So I was left with nothing. I will speak to you about that a little bit later as well, because something that I also have to mention is the way that we came to South Africa. The visas that we had prevented me from working, and it's caused me a lot of headache. It still causes me a lot of headache. We had a certain visa that my ex obtained from the UK because of his wealth, We came here promising that we will not need anything from this country. Well, look how that changed, and look how much we used we used everything in the court system here. Also, the visa, my son's visa, was for him to study at the private school here. I will talk about the visas and all that, and everything that came with our visas, and that in another episode. I just thought I wanted to mention that. So where were we? Okay, I am trying to get in the next episode to talk about the reason that I have started this blog, and this is because I have found myself again going to court. Guys, in 2018 June, after 6 months of back and forth, trying to get an increase in maintenance, I swore that I would never ever go back to court. I have settled out of court in June. I promise you, people say that I was stupid to settle out of court, but I really felt at that time that going ahead with the trial and having to go in and out of court for 3 months and dragging people through courts and witnesses and knowing what I know, I just couldn't go ahead with that. I just thought 3 months of court would kill me. I have lost about 20 kilos only preparing for court. So I have settled out of court. Money-wise, I had a pretty good settlement. Saying pretty good settlement, I had an increase of the previous settlement that was amazing. And also the court order included 2 other conditions. One to do with medical aid, private medical aid, which was supposed to be provided by my ex, and then another one to do with the other one was to do with my son's passport. Now you will understand why I'm back in court is because the conditions, the 2 conditions of the court order, I needed to use the medical aid in August when my son got very depressed, very sick, with anxiety attacks, terrible depression. And we found ourselves having to see doctors and psychiatrists, having to pay for antidepressants, and that medical aid. Was exhausted, so I went back to court. But in the next episode, I will tell you what happened with that. And then the second issue was the passport. Also, I'll speak to you in the next episode about that as well, because the next episode will be how to prepare for court. As I said, I found myself back in court in about 3 to 4 weeks, and I wanted to tell you what to do and what to expect. So I will speak to you about that in the next episode. Another thing that I wanted to talk to you about is the people that are saying, as you can imagine, since 2015, I've spoken to a lot of parents, grandparents, fathers, mothers, that are in the same position as me, and they that I met in court, and then some of them that I met outside court, and some of the parents that said, give it up, stop it, you're not gonna get anywhere, you're only gonna upset yourself. Look, I think that part of my son getting suffering from this depression, it is this back and forth to court, and the fact that he has an absent father. It is to do with us as parents. I think before we split up, it's what we did after we split up that can be easy for a child. But as I said, there is a lot of mothers that say give it up. If you are one of those parents, then you know what, maybe it's not worth the anguish and the upset and the drama and having to go face to face with your ex while you're fighting for a child. That's not easy. But for those of you that think that there is justice still and that the justice hasn't been done for your child, then there is a way to do it. That's all I'm trying to say. And why I'm doing this is, as I said, in 2018, I swore that I would never, ever go to court again. I've documented in a blog, my blog, A Foreigner Abroad. If any of you have gone onto my page to have a look at it, if you press around, there are a few titles that are on the passport for various reasons, but some of them are because I was following the court case in 2018, how I prepared for it, and all that. And when I was done with it in June 2018, I asked a few friends of mine what they think about me publishing that blog. And from what my friends said and how I felt at the time, I was in a different space that I was in 2015, and I just didn't want any of that negativity. I decided not to publish the blog. As I said, I thought I was never ever gonna go back to court until all this mishap happened now. But it is there, it is under password, and who knows, I'll probably read it back, and I probably forgot quite a bit what happened in court. So I will see you guys next time.